This is Kal Kat and Clint Cowpoke. We are here watching the slideshow of the Disneyland adventure because it's going to look better if we have a narration. That was over at Tiffy's. That was the night of us arriving. And that's the ice cream that Mark's Cards had. There's Mark's Cards. Yeah, there he is eating the ice cream. And yeah, Tiffy's grinning about it. There's enough there for two people. Now we cut to the next morning on the first day of the actual in Disneyland. And that is a hotel we didn't stay at, but Mark's Cards took pictures of it just because it was real pretty looking. Real nice and fine like. Sure enough. Yep, they're all the palm trees in Los Angeles. Oddly enough, a blue sky. I guess it was recently raining, so it wasn't there during the trip, though. Now we come around these hedges that mark the edge of California Adventure on the far end of the building. And we come to the Lego building. We did not go into the Lego building. There it is. And there's Maleficent the Dragon on top of the Lego building. And, yeah, so we didn't go in there. And there's a monorail as we enter the park. Now this was the first day, and the sun's up rising there, about 8 o'clock or so. And, yeah, so yeah. So we're going to enter the park here. A lot of this is Mark's Cards' footage, and some of it's mine. And here we have a lot of shots of that monorail there. And then we enter the park to determine that it causes cancer. Disneyland causes cancer. Yes. So yes, and into the park proper, we have an interesting-looking fountain thing that was empty, that had coins in it and nothing else. Didn't appear to be very many people out there at the very opening of opening day on Friday. And these are the monogram stones, the ground. I don't know if the Boyds have one or not, but that was that. 60th anniversary, Disneyland. And yeah, so Mark's Cards and Kal Kat do not have stone either. And here we have a very interesting Mickey Mouse design, the Mickey Mouse design thingy. And standing on it, on the Mickey Mouse design, on his face. So yeah, we're in the park. There weren't very many people, and yeah, so we're gonna go into the park. Yep. Well, to start out with, there weren't very many people. It was a Friday, and then they started wandering in. That's our screensaver now. But there, yeah, these other people from out of town, they did it too in our movie film. Today we attempted to download the YouTube version of the video, and it being the 15th, several days later, almost 10 days later now, and UMG flagged the music content for some reason, even though that's not Disney, some of the music content, so we had to re-upload it with that little clip changed into one of my Kal Kat songs. So instead, we did that, and it's Disney. Why would they flag? That's really weird that they would do that. But we didn't want any kind of a video of those guys. They had it again. Now, as we come into the park, the slideshow is not going to get flagged because, there's no content that's bad in here. Unless they don't like the images of their own park. That'd be kind of silly. But, yeah. So here we are. And, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so there are a few people gathering around on Main Street there, and the buildings are built a certain way so that they look, so it gives the perspective for even an adult walking through town that looks really, really big, because they make the scale of the buildings above the windows slightly smaller. You can see that right there, and that's to give the illusion that even adults look like they're little kids from that vantage point. Here we have the train tracks. And here we have the Disney Diamond celebration, even though 60 years wouldn't be diamond, but that's okay. They think it is. That's fine. And here we have it's me there. Yeehaw! Here I am in the park with that funny hat. And yeah, so I'm in some of these. So here we go to Adventureland. We're going to go see the critters and go to the shooting range and stuff in a bit. And so we're filming some shots of some other things in here. I think some of the pictures I have sequence. Well, I don't care. There's a cigar store engine. Now we're in the Frontierland area, famous for the cowpoking and such. Also, it is not where the origin of Clint Cowpoke is. That Clint Cowpoke character is more local. He is sort of a bastardization of Clint Eastwood and Sean McKnight of Pine Hill. Sort of, a Pine Hill student from long ago. So anyway, the deal here is that for Frontierland and for Toontown, they may be removing a lot of that to make room for the Star Wars thing. It's going to go right next to it on the other side of Tom Sawyer's Island. So we got a lot of pictures of Toontown in here because they might take it out. Hopefully they won't. So hopefully they'll move it to California Adventure or something. So there we are in Toontown, and there's Clarabelle's, which is the inspiration for the cat Clara from the Clara Awards. She's not just Santa Clara; she is Clarabelle. That's her full name. She's named after a cow. Yep, it was also black and white. The cat was black and white. So there you go. Now here are some mighty cute pygmy goats. These here pygmy goats are going to be taken to a special ranch where they're going to be taken care of by one of the people running the park. Now, then when they're gone, because they're going to take out the pygmy goats in the petting zoo. I don't know why they would do that. Just have to put it in the Star Warsy thing. And maybe they'll reopen it someplace else. But we always got to have pygmy goats around and sheeps and stuff. There were sheeps there too, but that day there weren't as many. And now they cut back to Toontown, so some of this is Mark Scards' footage right here, where he's getting in close here. We went over to the Toontown and the Chippendale thing, that being the rodents from Rescue Rangers, and they were before Rescue Rangers. It's just remember Rescue Rangers because it was '89 when it came out. In fact, last night pulled out a copy of Rescue Rangers the pilot and watched it, and it was really strange. It was about these cats that get catnapped by an evil bad guy who looked really, really odd, and he was like an evil bad guy. And, he looked like a little short, like, evil scientist dude. And then there was the second one was about an evil Eggman who had eggs, and he was, like, trying to capture it, like booby eggs, because it's a bird. So they could get to use the joke booby in there and get away with it in a kid's show. And here's, well, I don't know if that was it, but it seemed kind of funny. But the egg guy, it was just bizarre. Obviously, they'd seen the Eggman. But the Toontown stuff is interesting. The ride is actually more interesting than the Monsters Inc. one. Goes all around and does crazy things. Yeah, the ride is cool. So we don't have any footage on the ride, but there it is. And then we come to the treehouse from Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. No, it's just Chippendale's. Not to be confused with the Chippendale male dancers, although those two rodents would be totally into that if they could be. That's a lot of Mark's Cards footage from this ride thing. Yeah, if we had millions of dollars in a big place, we'd totally get a hold of this treehouse and have it built on the acres of the glorious mansion land, have it rebuilt there, and just have a piece of Disney Anna in the backyard. Nobody could actually get on it or anything. It would just be in the back. But I'm not rich, so that's not going to happen. And so we have footage. We filmed footage of the Mark's Cards did the footage of the two rodents having their fun. Chippendale, two iconic characters. They're basically in the later versions of them turned them into, and that's the earlier version of the plate, turned them into sort of a stick of the old Laurel and Hardy, Lon and Chaney Stan and Ollie type of characters who were loosely based on a Polish joke many, many years ago, but then became these iconic sort of guys. There's the Odd Couple was more recent back then. That was the same idea. Like one's slovenly and the other one's smart, or one's dumb or the other one's smart, or one's clever in some ways and the other one's clever in other ways, and they would complement each other. And the Laurel and Hardy shtick has been around since a long, long time, and they're basically that same idea. Ernie and Bert are the same way in Sesame Street. Same idea. Ralph Cramden and Norton and the Honeymooners. The Flintstones, Barney and Fred. Fred being the oafish, dumb one, and Barney being the smart one. So yeah, the same kind of thing going on here with these guys. I like how they showed some of the earlier stuff there. And then we cut to a little bit of black and back to the thing. And here we have some, the riverboat scene. You talk about the riverboat. And the coaster there. And Mark's Cards actually was going to go on, and I didn't want to, just because, But he took pictures on it all around it, the whole track. And then there was this huge line, so he actually turned around and walked off it. Turned around and came back and said, I didn't go on it. Well, yeah. Well, here we got some pretty pictures of that there roller coaster. There's a special roller coaster, I guess. I don't know. Yep. Real pretty roller coaster. Yeah, so this was a little long on the longer version of the video. So this is going to be a commentary track for the slideshow, and then we use the safe YouTube video and put the official one together. There him again. And now we go on to It's a Small World. And that was mentioned in the behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go on It's a Small World here. One of my favorite rides in the park. And yeah, so it's iconic and classic. These little animatronic puppet things. All done up for the holidays, for Christmas. Real pretty like. Now we're going to go on It's a Small World, the holiday edition. There is just one moon and one golden sun. Yeah. And a smiling friendship for everyone. The mountains divide and the oceans are wide. It's a small world after all. And here we are in the It's a Small World ride. And these are stills, of course, from Mark's Cards. I was filming it, but none of it came out. And we have a lot of interesting characters done up for Christmas, even though in some cases they wouldn't be celebrating Christmas. Yeah. So we have some very interesting little guys and these little animatronic puppets. Wonderful sort of whimsical, cute, imaginative sort of land and all. Yep, so there it is. It's a Small World, 2015. And yeah, I just thought to narrate this because, it's makes sense. And yeah, so we have various lands, and It's a Small World. It's been around since at least the 60s. It's been around, we saw it when we were kids. Ever since then. And there are adults in the park that didn't have kids with them. There are adults in their 30s and 40s, even up to their 70s and 80s. They were just in the park. They may have had kids around somewhere, I don't know, but we weren't the only, single adults wandering around in the park. I mean, come on. There were plenty of people our age and older and younger. And they're going through the park and doing stuff. There was even an old couple who were there, and they were there snickering because their grandkids weren't with them. And they were just there in the park because they wanted to go there. I guess they're locals or something, and they want to go to the park. That's funny. We're just in the park just because. Because, yeah, why not? We go without the kitties and just have fun. But yeah, so yeah, it continues with the it's a small world type of thing, and there were it's for children of all ages, they say. So we have some of these little things look kind of creepy, so that's why he took the pictures of them, so they look creepy. But yeah, Nightmare Fuel. It's a small world. Which was the inspiration for a horror thing that he did with his friend Gary and his friends many years ago. That is a viral video on YouTube in which the Kal Kat show was just starting out. And that viral video, Gary's site, I don't think there are very many other videos there, but there's that one. It's called Descent into Madness. And it's a small world done as an evil horror story. Yeah, in recut. And it might have been the inspiration for Escape from Tomorrow, because it did get a little bit of viral coverage. It might have not been, but it might have been. And so it's this viral video. Of course, naturally, we wanted Mark's Cards then to be co-host of the Kal Kat show when it started in 2009, and these videos this is the alleged series finale of the Kal Kat show, because rather than just be canceled in 3 months or 2 months or so, without a finale that actually does anything, and that's just a New Year's a New Year's sketch again. Oh boy, we decided I'm going to pause for a second and watch the black screen. But yeah, so we just decided, there's a riverboat stuff. So some of this is John's. We decided to end it with the Disney trip, which is on a high note, instead of continuing for 2 more months to go further. That doesn't mean there won't be any other Kal Kat Mark's Cards things. There definitely will be, but in the ever-changing world of blogs and vlogs and video blogs and a new camera and all that, which I decided to go further than that and have it be, we decided to do other things. It'll still be the same format, but it won't be called the Kal Kat Show necessarily. We've done it for 7 years, and we've done so many of them that it should have gone viral, and it didn't. It kind of proves that that it really is on YouTube what your content. It really has nothing to do with really the success of it necessarily, because I was just looking at the stats on the channel, and the channel has had 7,780 total views of videos on the channel, which is higher than the combined efforts of the 3 channels run by the martial arts school I used to train at. It's higher than theirs. If you take into account that theirs, even though they have some videos that claim thousands of hits, one of them claiming 10,000, that those hits are caused by the bots that they have set up to run the video over and over again. None of mine have a bot. So, they don't have any bots running the videos over and over again. I don't have a computer set up running over and over again. So as a beginning internet celebrity, you can look up the Kal Kat Show and get it confused for the nightclub and various other things. They have no relation. That it's the true legitimate numbers of the Kal Kat Show. We have videos that are up to 400 views or more, and that's it. Because, but that means that those are real views. That I didn't click on it 400 times. 400 people looked at it for whatever reason. And these later ones, as we get closer to the end of season 7 here, weren't getting viewed hardly at all. The ones that get the most views tend to be the ones that are other things. And I'm going on about the views. Well, the Riverboat thing is playing because the Mark Twain Riverboat thing although fun, it doesn't really do much. So the views are real, and it's a slideshow. Why not? I'll say whatever I like. I'll ramble, and it's going to be more rambly, even more so. Yeah, the Mark Twain thing and all that. Well, if you've been to the park, you've seen the riverboat ride, and that's just kind of a thing to do, that relaxing thing on there, and it's fun, and hopefully, we had fun sitting on it for a while, going around the thing. I mean, it's not a ride; it's more like just a relaxing moment, and I sort of talked over it. Yeah, so here's the black again, and now we cut to. I'm gonna leave it though because, this is a slideshow. And this the Splash Mountain and the Roaring Railroad, Rhine Railroad car thing. So the views on the Kal Kat show. Yeah, it wasn't doing. We're not monetizing it, so we're not getting any ratings. And tonight we tried to download the Disneyland story, the free YouTube one, and once again the dreaded Universal Music Group had come out and flagged it immediately upon being downloaded. It was a bot. And rather than contest any of it, they said what section of music it was, and it was the Cars Land, the bot that did it. Said it was the Cars Land, like the story inside the Cars ride, which comes later on there. I don't think there is actually video of that here. And it's ridiculous because Disneyland owns the rights to that particular thing, not UMG. Well, why fight UMG? So I just went back, found this clip where that song was, and threw over it in its place the clips from the other version, which is me just singing the Cars song. Okay, here I'm singing the Cars song. Yeah, and now it works, so they're not flagging it. It was flagged in Germany for but. It's really weird. It's like no, Disney owns the rights to that stuff. And they were at a black screen again. So yes, back to the goats. The cute goats posing the camera. That looks like it's about to eat the camera. So the goats. So So they're at it again. The bots, or whatever they are. And in order to get the full video on there on YouTube, you kind of have to finagle your way into it. And with the old one gone, they can't really do a strike on it because it's gone. They can look at it if they want, but it's gone. So I reposted it with the song repaired. Now it is fine, and everything's cool. And the slideshow shouldn't get flagged either because it's not really. There's the sheeps. It's not really a problem with the slideshow. So, a lot bigger than the other videos. Since the split up 2 years ago of the SAP Productions thing, SAP 1 Productions, not the other one, the one we were part of, Elevation Valley Stories, and them going off to do their own thing, their own channels. They didn't do their own channels. My sister has her name on her own channel, her real name, and doesn't put anything on it. And my niece does the other ones where she posted some concert videos 2 years ago and nothing else since. There's like nothing there, no motivation to do anything to become more famous than Kal Kat. I am definitely more famous than her on the internet. You can type in the name and type in on Location Cat, and you will find a plethora of stuff and information, which means that as a character, the character is famous enough. We spent a whole lot of money to go to the Disneyland trip. It was too hot to film until the winter, so there was no Star Trek Chimera. We ended up out here doing our own thing then. So chugging along on and nearing the middle of the first day, but it looks like there's a lot of repetitive slides in here, but they're not. Everywhere there's a break, it's Mark's Cards or me. saying our pictures from the scene. So yeah, this has actually been whittled down quite a bit from the 900 and some that he had and the 300 and some that I had. It's this is actually shorter than the other version, and has is only an hour and 10 minutes about, and so the original one was 2 hours, so it's not much is whittled away. We have this is sort of a supplemental slideshow that put on the other channel, but I doubt anyone will actually sit through the commentary of it. You can put it on the regular channel too, I guess. It's like when we put up the Martial Sportist movie as the Martial Sportist movie, and nobody got it, so nobody watched it. But when we put it up as Baycon 2015 Fanime Convention highlights, 30-some people watched it immediately. So there you go. Call it what it is when you're doing your videos. Just call it what it is. Things can go viral, and things can also not go viral. The 2 or 3 of our most popular songs did actually appear on some of those fail shows and some of those, things. I don't think any of them were on Tosh.0, but I think Ridiculousness picked up Kitty Kitty Kit Kit, showed that. And we're like, what the hell is this? I don't understand, which is funny. But then they didn't pay anybody for it, so. Of course not. And Fail Army picked up the Lemon Challenge, or one monthly fails, I guess it was. But they didn't do anything with that either. It's just like they just showed it. It didn't go viral. So sometimes it doesn't go viral even if it's on TV. So so take that into account. So when you see fan sites that go ridiculously viral immediately and get 1 million hits and they suddenly have 1 million subscribers, it's a company. It's a company. It's got to be. And here we come to and I'm not, because movie 33. 33 is the secret room where things happen, I guess. Yeah, and that's the Haunted Mansion line. And you notice it's haunted. So yeah. So it's ghoulish. And now we're back to the Frontierland briefly, because it's some of my clips. And then the Winnie the Pooh land and the Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and stuff, and the Rabbit and Winnie and Rabbit and Tigger, Rabbit and Winnie, they all came up to us. Mainly Winnie was going up to Mark's cards and Rabbit, and Tigger went right up to me, and then later on waved and stuff. So there's Tigger, and it's like they were both right there, right up to the camera, and it would be funny if that was somebody we knew in the suit. They were in character. That'd be awesome. But there's Mark's cards. And it was quite warm down there. It wasn't warm here, but it was down there. It was warm. 10 degrees warmer there. And another shot of that Min thing. We didn't go back there. It's just there again. So let's see. We have some more of Critter Country. In the first day comes to an end pretty soon. And it's the longest section. So we have a beaver. Beaver. Those are from the Son of the South adventure, I think, or one of the other ones. And there's the 33. The significance of the 33 that keeps getting pictures in this, and there's the ghouls. The significance of that, and of course Tigger there, is that Mark's cards went into the 33. He got invited by some rich friend of his that should be footing the bill for us. So they got to go in the 33 room and have real drinks in the 33 room. Wonder how much they had to pay for that. Here's the rabbit coming up to us. Or is some Mark's cards. So yeah, and then they went down that secret back door over there. And they showed that. So yeah, the Disney characters were all over the place in that part of, I think that was the other side of Adventureland near the Fantasyland thing. But yeah, then we have the Buzz Lightyear thingy. So Mark's cards got level 1. I got level 4. So yeah, didn't appear to record the other half of that. That's interesting. So yeah, so this was upside down. I think it was 1,000. It was 6,000 or something. But yeah, that's how did they get in there? That is in Star Tours, and that is the the store. And the significance of that is that the People Mover used to come into that area, and that was the loading area. And so a long time ago in the 70s and 80s, and before Star Tours, it used to dock back there. And that was a counter designed to look like the ride. It isn't part of the ride, but it was designed to look like the ride. And there's Clint Cowpoke again. Yep. Yeah, the UMG's gone after us before. It's odd that it's Disney stuff. I mean, the Cars ride is Disney. It's not someone else. But it has happened before, because there was somebody had recorded the Mad Tea Party, and they got flagged for that. I had enough sense to change all of that out before I put it on YouTube, at least. Because, yeah, the snake part got flagged for some copyrighted music that Disney had, getting permission for them for using it. And so I figured, well, they're going to flag Staying Alive and the other stuff. They're going to flag the DJ. So I better, take all that and, cut that out. Now, here's Chip and Dale, the favorite characters of Mark's cards. And there they are. Here we're going to fade to black again. This would appear to be the beginnings of day 2. And day 2, we went to California Adventure. First, we went to Disneyland. Then, if you turn around, and came back to get something, and then we went back in to California Adventure. I think it was to replace the cart. The cart had broken down, so we had to go get another one. And this is when we told him I had the camera. I didn't bring it. A new one. Well, yeah, we figured we're not going to bring the new video camera into the park because something would have happened to it. That's a funny thing because it seems that it doesn't turn itself off, although it actually does. It's just we don't know why that. Yeah. Yep. Didn't show up. So yeah, just kidding. It's water. So yeah, it's fun looking back on these slides and seeing how everything worked out and the little figurines in the store there. And yeah, so and then we come to the nightlife. No, wait, no, that's a ride. So yeah, yes, it's weird that the Radiator Springs song was no, the Grizzly Rapids. Oh yeah, that's the one where we where what happened is we was in line to get on the ride, and there were these five feisty sibling girls, sort of like Frozen, but 5 of them, and the youngest one was probably maybe 9 or 10 or something. And she inadvertently had swacked out her arm, whipping around in the air, done whacks Kal Kat in the shoulder, and he goes, "Oh, she must be a ninja or something." And and yeah. So this thing happens, and we're just joking about it. And we get on the ride, and we get up to the thing to get on the water ride, and our ride attendant figures we're all related. So get on the ride, the girls. And we're no, hold on. So we end up on the ride with them, and we're not related. And I guess they ranged in age from about 9 to 16 or 17 or something, the oldest one. And that's be my guess. They're 5 siblings. So we get on the ride. So they get to ride on the ride with these 2 40-something guys. One of them that I didn't shave because I forgot my razor, so I can kind of scruffy by day 2 there. And guess we looked like like security or something. No, we didn't. But they looked like really slovenly tourists. Like scruffy looking. So yeah, we went on a ride, and they screeched at everything that wasn't even screeching, and it drove Mark's carts absolutely crazy that they were doing that. And for maybe a full 6 minutes after the ride, he complained about how they were screeching. Oh yes, but yes, because he doesn't like that. That's an earlier scene with the hot dog thing there. Yeah, it's a beaver creature with a boner. But yeah, beaver bell. Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, it's just pretty wild. I have a nut for you. And he has a nut for him. Yeah, there was a lot of jokes that we were saying in the park about how Chip and Dale were clearly like gay lovers, and it would be hilarious if they made a Chip and Dale movie or a Prince and Prince movie where because they did Frozen where they kind of suggest they could be lesbians, but they weren't really. They were just kind of. That's the rumor. No, they're sisters. That would be twincest. But no, it wasn't that. But so they've done girls as the lead. So now it should be the next Disney movie should be a young prince wanting to go to riches, looking for a king. It should be a dude, and it should be filmed in San Francisco. That should totally be the plot. And he's like a dude. He dresses like a chick, and he's like a burlesque guy, and he's it'd be awesome. They finally go there. Finally, Walt Disney will be spinning in his grave, going, "No, what have you done?" Oh. But yes, it would be great. So also you could have a. Oh yes, and here we are in the Bugs Life ride. Yeah, we went in the Bugs Life thing, and went to the special preview of The Good Dinosaur, which stars, I don't know who it stars, but there's dinosaur in that movie. Sounds like Clint Cowpoke, which is just awesome. Cross with Jay Leno, and it's not me. But when we went in the ride, Mark's cards and I looked at each other and did a double take. And I said, "Yep, Clint Cowpoke did a voice in this movie." That's why I had to see the preview. Just kidding. But not before they let us go on the Aladdin thing. No, that's not the case. We did not go around pretending like we were celebrities. We were celebrities. They didn't have to pretend. We're YouTube celebrities. They knew who we were. Ain't you heard it, Junction people from we were celebrities in the Disneyland. We even gotten to go into Disneyland Resort Hotel, look around in there. Even though this footage is a little earlier, but yeah, some of it's Kal Kat, some of it's Mark's Carts. Yeah, here's the Radiator Springs. Yeah, and the music from the attraction got flagged by the UMG, and of course we had to take that out. So now you can't hear them talking. Even though other people have put up their ride-throughs of that ride and not been flagged. So something really, really screwed up is going on in there. No, that's a Disney attraction. It's Disney. They own the rights to it. It's like, they own it. So there. Yeah. It's unofficial. But yeah, they totally do. So yeah, it's online. Have good dinosaur, dude. Yeah, good dinosaur. Okay, here's where we're going to the good dinosaur. Yep. Down the little tree thing. And then we're going to the next day or not. It looks like we started on the next day, unless we briefly went back to Disneyland on the second day. I think we did go back into Disneyland at the end of California Adventure. just to go back into Disneyland and get the tram and all that. So might have gone back into there toward the end there. That might be the end of day 2. That's the Aladdin ride. So we went back to the Aladdin ride. Oh, life is a highway. And we sat down next to a celebrity. Yes, we did. That was cool. So we were out in the front, about 5 rows up from the front inside, right up near the orchestra pit area. And we sat down next to a celebrity. What had been in the show. That's right. With all the Disney princesses. Up, fade to black. Yep, all the Disney princesses as celebrities. We saw Tiara, and we saw Rapunzel, and we saw all the other ones. Tiara's dress almost killed some people. It's just so big. But here we are in this thing, and the Mad Tea Party. And they did use actual music that Disney got permission for, and they have been flagged for that. So when we put that up, we made sure we didn't use any of that music. We had to change it. So Kal Kat went through and did all of the songs again, and I helped. And we did the songs from some of the songs from the attraction and made our own versions. So, God, life is a highway. I'm going to ride it all night long. Or, you got a friend in me. Doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo. You got a friend in me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Road ahead is long too, and do-do-do-do-do. And that kind of thing. Or under the sea, darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter, take it from me. We're what the land folk love to cook. Under the sea, we're off the hook. We got no troubles. Life is the bubbles under the sea. Ha ha. Yes. So yes. Some Disney songs and when can we do this again? Oh. When can we see you again? And what's funny about that song is that song is being sung during Wreck-It Ralph, and it's Owl City, and it has been flagged, so you have to say Owl City. And we figured, well, we're going to get flagged, so we'll just do the Kal Kat version of it. And Owl City won't flag us. And that was a song from Wreck-It Ralph. What's funny about the song, though, is that, if you think about it, the song is basically saying, even though this adventure is going on right now, they're hoping that it's over so they can do it again. When can we do this again? When can I see you again? It's going on right now, but it wants it to be over so it can go on to the next one. What the heck? But yeah. So yeah, and the light show, and Mark's cards playing with the wheel. The wheel wasn't there in 99. It wasn't. That part wasn't finished. It was under construction, so that light show thing was not there. Yeah. So there's the balloons. Nearing the end of day 2. And, yep. End of day 2, 43 minutes in. Cruising along. Yep, day 2. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Road ahead is gonna make you spume. Well, I'm gonna do you deep inside your boom. You're gonna take it like two. Anyway, so yeah. Back to the. Guess that's my footage or his footage. Yeah. So they've cut back to the other thing. Show it again. So there's a little bit of oddly sequenced moments in here. But it's not a deal breaker. It's just a slideshow. So we'll get it over and over again. Get to see what it's all about. So right on. Yes, the funny thing about that tea party thing was that I was the one freak dancing and spaz dancing and stuff. And not only that, the spaz dancing matched some of what the Disney guard characters were doing. So even though, which was very interesting, the guy doing the flamingo thing was like doing the spaz robot dance as well. And I was like, wait a minute, So they just figured I was with the rest of the party after they thought I was completely drunk. But how could I have made those moves if I was drunk? I couldn't have. So yeah, I wasn't drunk. No, it was sugar from that tea. But then there's this other place. There was these artsy things. Some pictures do get flagged, but these won't because this is not really for any kind of profit or sale. So shouldn't be a problem. And then we cut to the nightlife here. There's a few. I guess there's a little bit of a reel of my stuff and Mark Scar's stuff and Mark Scar's phones stuff. It's good there's plenty of that because then it's neat to look at again. And yeah, so totally okay with it. So there's the balloons again. And yeah, the park itself was quite enjoyable. Mark Scar's mainly talked about the history of Disneyland on the supplemental material, the history of movies like Song of the South, having gone to Florida and how that's different. On this slideshow, though, I just wanted to talk about the slideshow and what happened from the vantage point of just going there and doing it and winging it, as we made up in the beginning of the commentary. The other one was that the slideshow would be much more interesting if we had. Oh, gotta start for a little blank there. Then there's the little thing that he won from the scan thing, the scanning the wheel. Yeah, that's not a prize. You don't actually win anything. It's a game. App thingy. Hey, read the block again. Day 3, finally. Day 3. So, day 3. Well, shoot. It was day 3. We were all happy to be at day 3 and had to do it again. The cast and crew were together once more. Now, on day 3, Mark's cards did not need the ECV vehicle. And so, we was walking around the park for about half a day. Had to leave around 1 or 2. Turned out to be about 3. So, yeah. The 2 rides we didn't go on were Wild Toad Ride and Indiana Jones, who went on the Tiki Lounge ride. Now, I was told by my sister that she had never gone to the Tiki Lounge when they changed it to Diago the Parrot and the other thing in that one year. She didn't go in there when that happened. So it's always been the Tiki Lounge. Back when she went on at that other time, which was apparently around 2011 or so, it was the Tiki Lounge. And, yeah, so they changed it back. So she was never there the year they did that. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, Tiki Lounge. I keep yawning, making the slideshow much more interesting than just slides with some music in the background. Here is the Mark's cards, and talking about the Disney trip. Sunny skies, blue skies all the time, about 70 to 80 degrees, 75, 80 degrees. I don't think it got any hotter than that. A little warm on the first day, I guess. A little warmer on the second day. So, yeah, it is hundreds of miles from here, so 600 miles about. And the closer jaunt between that and there than Bill O'Reilly claimed was the there's that panel again. Then in the Falklands War. Bill O'Reilly claimed he was in the Falklands War when he was, in fact, in Buenos Aires. He was 1,000 miles from the Falklands. And Los Angeles and Anaheim are 600 miles away from here. So that would be equivalent to Los Angeles, Anaheim to Oregon. Yeah, Columbia River. That'd be 1,000 miles. Yeah, that's kind of far from claiming you're right in the middle of a war zone. It's 1,000 miles. How does that work? So there we go. Yep. So Here we have some stuff in the park, in the Star Tours. We got to go on Star Tours. It was either Star Tours or Indy. It showed Star Tours. That big circular thing was the Imaginarium Innovation Land. That is they're going to keep the building, but they're taking out the middle. They're going to turn it into a Star Wars Starbase attraction, and it's going to be pretty awesome. And there was, we were in line with these two British girls in front, and one of them was British, and the other was American, and so we had to stop doing fake British accents while in line for the submarine ride. And so, yeah, they're going to redo that. And apparently the Star Wars stuff and the Star Wars interactive stuff is remarkably similar to my Star Trek Experience the Return plan that I had written down on the internet. Of course, put out on the internet for free so that somebody would do it somewhere. And my plan was that I was going to have, there would be an interactive Star Trek park in the Presidio area in San Francisco. There would be a Star Trek park, and you could go in there and go on rides and things that are related to Star Trek. It would be like the experience, only 10 times bigger, and it would have, you could do, your whole deal there. You could have a Star Trek Starbase Starfleet land and an alien planet land, and you can have like you could go there and you could go in this one place, and they had the simulators like the old one did, but there's 4 of them, and you could go on missions on each generation ship in there. That would be awesome. And just because the store and the bar and everything would be set up like the Ferengi thing and promenade, and there would actually, the actual inside of the Starbase would be Deep Space Nine. It would be done up a literal Deep Space Nine inside it. You go in there, be a phaser range, Klingon adventure, space adventure, ship adventure. It would be it would be the Voyager, the Enterprise D, the Abrams-verse prize would be one part of it too, and you could do all that. Or you could go to the cadet training phaser range, or you could be in a movie, a little movie vignette like they did with Star Trek: The Adventure. You could be in a little short film with the characters. You could have pictures taken with the characters. There would be conventions. There would be convention hall and hotel connection. It would have been massive. Only Disneyland could have pulled off something like that, and that's what they're doing with the Star Trek. So Star Tours, Star Wars expansion. They're going to have a Star Wars planet, and they're going to have a Millennium Falcon in it, and you can go to the Star Wars planet and go on other Star Wars adventures. There's going to be like a bar, the cantina thing. And, I assume that it's not a real bar, but it'll be like a toy bar. But yeah, so they're going to do all that. And, we gave that idea to Disneyland for free, and now they're building it for Disneyland. We didn't really, somebody else thought at the same time, but, whatever. Great minds think alike. But they're going to go for it because they have the money. Star Trek really should be a massive enterprise going on 50 years now, almost. So yeah, like Disneyland is. They should put a Star Trek thing. And the only way they would is that they come together. Which does beg the question: why was Universal Music Group involved with Disneyland in any way? Because it's Disney. Disney, yeah, they're not Paramount either. So what? No, it's Disneyland. They give permission. We have permission. We said so. Yeah, so we weren't out at Paramount Studios on our little adventure here doing Star Tours. We were at Disneyland pitching there. So, yes, there you go. Because we're Disney. Yes, child stars. See, we figured it out. We were, the backstory of Kal Kat and Mark's Cars goes back to it was the end of the child stars era of the 80s, which had a resurgence in the 2000s with people like Miley Cyrus and whatever, back in the day with Hannah Montana and all that. But the child stars Kal Kat and Mark's Cards, although they really weren't, they were more like local Milpitas radio characters, more so than actual stars. They thought they were, but in their own mind. But if they were, they would have been on the Mickey Mouse Club, and they would have been part of the Disney Channel in the early days. So they would have left the Disney Channel around the time Britney Spears came about, and that would have been when they left. And Britney Spears was the famous celebrity back then that Miley Cyrus is now imitating. So we would have been, right there. But, yeah, we weren't famous from Disney, although we certainly plugged the heck out of Disney, going to Disney things all the time, and we're certainly there all the time. It's like we're celebrities there, including my sister. So, we're all about the Disney. So, yes, so whatever the Disney does, we're sell out to them. It's so far, we can't get Paramount to sell out to them. Although our Star Trek thing will be Chimera, will be an unofficial unlicensed parody. It will not profit from it either. Either will this be profited from. And we will continue to do that stuff. We don't have much Disney properties to make fun of, though. We do the songs. And it was rumored that the reason that Kal Kat got ousted from the park in '92 was that they heard the Disney Dirty songs, and they're like, oh my God, these guys are forbidden to come back in the park ever again. They'll be forbidden for at least, 7 or 8 years or so. So is it or is it not a coincidence that Kal Kat did not go back to Disneyland between '92 and 2009? Was he actually kicked out? Well, no, he wasn't. They didn't see the songs, but songs are online, and we got to go to the park anyway, so they didn't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. We've also reviewed Disney movies and given them favorable reviews. Mark's Cards gives them favorable reviews, even if they're kind of okay, because they're Disney. So yeah, we've all been into the we've kissed up to Disney for forever. So yes, including Inside Out with Disney Pixar. And actually, as we come to the, we're chugging along with the Disney stuff here, Pixar stuff. Actually, some of the San Jose State people from the mid 2000s and the late 90s too. Yeah, late 90s and the mid 2000s. When I was in the humanities and arts department in the 90s, and then later in the journalism science department, there were people that were associated with Pixar there that were getting their internships and whatever, and they were gamers and things like that and video designers and stuff. Couldn't give Mark's Cards a Pixar thing because he doesn't do any art. But they're the Pixar guys. And some of those, it's cool to see that some of those names have gone up in the ranks at Pixar and Lucasfilm since. And going back and looking at the, it's kind of cool to see oh, there's that guy in the the credits. Say to the end of the Pixar movie, yeah, now he's senior. Some of those people that were like art guy or art designer or whatever, they'd be early test footage guys or whatever. By the time they get up to here's the black screen. By the time we get up to Toy Story 3 and Inside Out and some of the later ones, it says senior art supervisor, senior art director, senior ooh, that's cool. Those guys got up pretty high now. But yeah, that's kind of neat. So I knew some of those people once, some time ago. They wouldn't know me anymore, but I knew of them. And that's really neat, going to see their movies and going, oh, look, those guys, yeah. But yeah, no connections anymore. But 98, 99, back in the day. There was, and I could tell it was them too, because there would be a Pixar movie that would have ideas that were similar to what Mark's Cards and I would discuss at school or whatever, and or discussed a line or something, and that would appear in there because those people were on MySpace and Facebook later, and and they would end up in the movie. The most interesting case in point was Monsters University, which is a really strange idea to have them in college and have it be a prequel. But it has this scene at the end, which is right out of a Kal Kat story, where this little they set it up so this little snail is like trying to get to school. He's like Kal Kat idea. That's right there. That's like, and at the very end of the movie, he finally gets to school and he's all like, "You're too late, buddy. It's over. The movie's over." It's like, oh no. And then of course over there at Mark's Cards Land, Wally. Yes, Wally, a little robot. But yeah, he didn't think of Wally. But there are some elements of that movie that are so Mark's Cards. It's ridiculous. The plant thing, the robot, the laser beam thing. But yeah, we didn't animate the movie. We're just saying that this stuff is stuff on our wavelength. That's what we're saying. So yeah, we weren't involved in the movies. We just heard the animators or talked to them or whatever way back. We don't know them now, but still don't ask. But but yeah, it was cool having the picture of Disney people around. Let's see, were there any? I'm trying to think of what other things would have been inspired by them and stuff. Robot Chicken. Whoever is doing Robot Chicken now clearly knew us at some point. They had to have known us. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we do. So right on. So yeah, we were joking on the way there that there was this Star Trek fan. I'm not going to name his name, but this Star Trek fan like virally put one of his video interviews out, and several pages of the same two articles out on every Trek website saying he pitched for Star Trek. And I did a big Kal Kat show review of his. I did a review of his script, and I did a Star Trek pitch thing because I had pitched a long time ago. So had Mark's Cards under our real names back when you could. And basically the gist of it was you can't now, so the guy is making it up. And so he made this thing go viral, and Mark's Cards and I were joking in the Disney park. If we were actually the guys, Paramount would totally meet in Disney as well, and I'm sure they were actually there too. But that it would be like well, you see, the deal is like if we went to Hollywood, unlike this guy who was just a Star Trek fan who had a website similar to the name of Star Trek Beyond the New Movie, that unlike him, if we went to pitch in a major studio, unlike him, even though it isn't allowed, they would listen to us because, of course, we're internet famous, and they would listen to us. Yes, of course they would. They're building the Star Wars thing. So there you go. They have articulated Star Wars triggers. I suggested that to a Lucasfilm employee several years ago. 2 years ago. I suggested to a Lucasfilm employee, I said, make the figures more like G.I. Joes and have them articulated. They have those now. They're a little pricey. I don't know if he suggested it to George, but he might have. And then they let him go. Yep. So let it go. But yeah, so so there we go. So yes, we are more internet famous than the SAP people ever were. But yes, actually the youngest is actually somewhat internet famous as well. The nephew is famous. But yes, we have. So it's fun talking about the slideshow and just going off on a tangent about awesomeness of Kal Kat, because it is supposedly the finale. There will be other Kal Kat Marked Card stuff. It's not going to be like L.A. Beast doing his live blog, because it's not that interesting. Our lives are not that interesting. It's not going to be political rants either, because that's not terribly interesting either. But what we'd want to do is something that's more growing with the times. You know, we want the story to be more interesting. Maybe have more exploration of the whole shtick of these has-been comedian guys doing their thing. Yeah, our stuff is definitely unique and weird, and seems to work and fits quite well at Disneyland. I think we're more Disney guys than Paramount and CBS, but it would be cool to be both. I think CBS was briefly part of Disney for a while, wasn't it? It was briefly. But yeah, but yeah, Disney has always been part of the mythos. Having there's some messed up slides, but it always has a part of it. Been there about 5-6 times so far in all of 45 years, and yeah, so it's interesting. Mark Cards has been to Disneyland, Disney World 5 times, and been to Disneyland dozens, apparently, of times. I think, wow, even this year he's been there at least twice, if not 3. I guess you're going to have a season pass. You're going to do that. I do not have a season pass. But we will be going back to Disneyland. Yes, when Star Trek Chimera is finally done. Somewhere in 2016. So we'll be going back for the 61st anniversary, possibly. So later in the late summer of 2016. And we are closing in on the end of this. And it is that Richie Castle was crazy and stuff. But yes, let's see, there was Disney Tangled. I would say if there's any Kal Kat stuff in a Disney movie, I would say Aladdin in the 90s had a little bit of Kal Kat in it. I mean, some of those jokes were like Robin Williams was going off on a tangent. Some of those were Kal Kat jokes. I mean, clearly, come on. The Lion King, yeah, a little bit of that one, too. Definitely the Shakespeare angle of the Lion King was definitely a creative arts San Jose State deal. But, yeah, Pixar, The Incredibles, Mark's Cards side of it. Toy Story 2, yeah, totally. Not so much the first one, but 2. And definitely 3. Yeah, the whole ending, part 3. So, yeah, we had nothing to do with writing them. It's just like they came up with ideas that were similar on the same wavelength. Yes, we're not going to breach copyright and go, but we thought of it. No, we're not crazy. It's that they just came up with the same similar ideas. But it is cool to see those 1 or 2, 3 or 4, I guess, writers, guys in there. No, we were not buddies with John Lasseter. That would have been interesting, but no. I did hear him speak once, though. That was cool. But yes, but yeah, yeah. So right on. Oh yeah, and the secret contact on the internet about the Star Trek, as Shayla V might want to know, was a guy named Alex Kurtzman. Maybe you heard of him. Yeah, I'll say his name. Star Trek is coming back in 2017. And, yeah, it's not Bob Orkey, it's the other guy. But, yeah, anyway, so that's the secret contact. Under a pseudonym, he was posting on other media websites. Yes, I'm not going to give that pseudonym away. So there. And no, I'm not Kurtzman. But, yes, yeah, so there were other guys out there carrying on the Abrams verse stuff. And also, the new Star Wars movie doesn't have anything to do with that guy that used to work for Lucasfilm because he had already left. However, that guy went on. That guy had, I think it was Scott. He went on to do a Star Wars Battlefront and Jedi Order. I think it was the ones from a while back. Yeah, Force Unleashed. Those guys. So those two. Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah, right on. So. Anyway, so let's see what else. This is an intro. Inside Out. Inside Out had one of those guys from the original cast. Wally had a bunch of them. Yeah, so that was a while back. But yeah, let's see. Disney stuff. Disney stuff is cool. And you get to go to Big Wow and meet a lot of these guys, which is cool. We would met the guy that did the Black Sad comics at the Big Wow, so that was cool. He was a Disney guy. And last year we met the duck guy, Donald Duck, not DuckTales, the duck guy. And yeah, so that was cool too, the duck guy. So yeah, it happens a lot. And we got some Marvel people, but not much. Some DC, but mainly it's Disney. Yeah. So, a little bit of IDW. So we are gonna end soon. We're in the parking lot in this footage, and we will see you all later for the adventures. Actually, it's a little over an hour and 10 minutes. It looks like a little bit over. And then we cut back to the store footage, I guess, just for fun. Yeah, there's like pictures of Marx's and mine, and Marx's and mine, and Marx's. It's not an hour and 10 minutes, though. It's an hour and 10 minutes and 30 seconds, roughly. Looks like you could pretty much say an hour and 11 minutes if you want to. So, yeah, it's going to go bye-bye. Plink, plink, zonker klinks. Vlevernsvelden, Ugenvargens.